Just shut it down.
88 is too many.
Okay, so stream's going.
Just shut it down.
Yep, shut it down. That's what you said. I heard that. What was that? Did someone not have food? I heard
just the beer.
I heard his stomach growl.
Oh no, I ate.
Okay,
I'm good.
maybe that was me, but I didn't feel that one.
I don't know, man.
Stream. My air conditioner isn't on for this one. It's so weird. Oh, I need a bigger desk. I need a bigger room. My desk is so small.
Build a bigger room and then a bigger desk. Just knock down a wall.
Yeah, I'm sure the neighbors
don't
don't
like
mind.
permits or any of that bullshit, right? Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no one cares. It's fine.
Right.
I'm not using the closet anyway.
Hey, there you go. Just increase your square footage, bro.
Just build out the window, and then put a few posts in the yard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all coming together in my head already. Like,
yeah, beautiful.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Minimize that. I got this over here. I'll close that. And hello everyone, welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around to talk about the games they've been playing and the things going on in their lives. This week, I've got Justin with me today, drinking something.
I am drinking some hot chocolate with Irish cream in it. It is it's like 50% Irish cream, but it's still delicious.
Nice. And we also have Lo. He's also drinking a thing.
I am drinking a thing. I'm drinking a beer. This beer's name is 805. It's what is it?
This is beer branded beer.
It's from Sam Adams Brewery, I think. Something
Yeah,
like that.
I was gonna say I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good, it's good, neutral beer. It's a honey. It's supposed to be a honey blonde, I believe.
I don't think it's Sam Adams.
It's some brewery I've heard of before. It's and everybody else, but
yeah,
it's either Sam Adams or something else, or I don't remember exactly. Look it up, everybody.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's
great radio.
This week we'll start with Justin. With what's up with your life?
So I was not here last week, as everyone I'm sure was pleased by, but I was playing Super Mario Party at my friend's house.
I'm sorry.
It's really good, actually. Like they made Mario Party good again.
Nice.
You know that famous slogan from our president, "Make Mario Party great again."
Oh yeah,
he,
have hats
he was the one. He was the one that did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like basically they brought it back to the way it used to be in some ways. You actually go across a board again, and you're not in a car or anything. The boards are kind of small, disappointingly, and there's only 4 of them. Also disappointingly. None of them are terribly amazing, but like it's back to the way it used to be. Like that's enough, really. They've dumbed it down in some ways. Like you only need 10 coins now to get a star. A lot of the items cost like nothing. Like I think the most expensive item is 20 coins. And even if you don't win a mini game, you get 2 pity coins. And that's the part that makes me the most mad because you lost. You deserve nothing.
That's that game. Like that game always gives you crap for stuff you don't deserve.
I know, but it's not fair. Just wallow in your shame.
Right. Why reward somebody for not doing well at something?
Right. Exactly. Like it's stupid. But like the mini games are all really fun. some of them are kind of variations of past mini games, but some of them are really good, and some of them actually make really good use of the Switch mechanics. Like there's some super cool HD Rumble mini games. Like one of my favorite ones, you have like a bunch of stumps in front of you, and it's a 2-on-2 game. So you and your partner are going around trying to find the boxes that have the most acorns in them. So you pick up a box and you like feel the shake inside of it, and you can feel how many acorns are in it from like 1 to 6, I think. And so you put like I think 5 over to each side, and then after each side has their 5, they show like how many total you got. And I mean, you can't like the nuance isn't quite there. Like telling the difference between 5 and 6 isn't very easy, but it's very clear. Like 1, like 1, 3, 5, like kind of the every other one you can really tell.
Interesting.
And there's another one where you're basically shaking beans out of a jar. And so like that's kind of the motion, but also like you can feel the beans as they roll around inside the jar. I don't know. There's some cool stuff there. And then the most popular game that everyone's been talking about, but I also loved, is Slapperazzi. It's such a simple idea. It's a free-for-all game. You're just running around trying to be the one in front whenever the photographer takes a picture. So you're slapping everyone else to knock them out of the way, and every time he takes a picture, you want to do capture on the Switch. And that's what a good mini game is. Like, you want to capture that moment, you know what I mean? And it's literally a mini game about capturing moments. So it's a perfect thing to take screenshots of and post them on Twitter, and then you're promoting how cool the game is. So like that's a really brilliant one, and it feels like something that could have been in any Mario Party game, which I think are the best ones. So that one was definitely a winner. There's a few other cool ones.
It's too bad the Switch doesn't have a camera on it. That way you can like get in front of each other and like punch each other in real life to get in front. It
does actually have a camera.
What?
Our blaster there. Is a camera. Like I think the Toy-Con little car.
Okay.
Like that can actually be programmed to move on its own and avoid objects using the IR camera. Because it's basically like the first generation Kinect. It was like kind of that weird like. Yeah, it's like that.
Infrared, yeah,
infrared. Thank you. And you can actually like look through the camera on the Toy-Con app on your Switch.
That's pretty sweet.
If you set it up correctly. So yeah, there is a camera, but it's an infrared camera. Okay. So it's still not quite the same thing. But yeah, the coolest thing about the game, I think, like it's great that it's back to normal. Like there's no car stuff. There is like a river rapids mode where everyone is together in a raft. And you're like working together to go along the rapids and like avoid obstacles and hit balloons that take you into 4-person cooperative mini games, which don't have the same effect as competitive mini games, but there's still some fun ones. Like one where you use a net to pull up a bunch of cheeps at the right time to get the most points. But the coolest mode is the 2-on-2. I kind of mentioned it already. Where there was a 3DS game, I guess, called Mario Party Island Party, or Island Tour, or something like that. And at that one, you have kind of a free moving map where you roll a certain amount of, you roll a certain number on the die, and you have to go that amount of spaces. But like the board is just kind of an open grid, like a strategy game almost. So like, let's say the star is 2 spots away, and you roll a 4. You have to go 4 spaces. So like you can kind of go in a circle and wrap around to the star in 4 spaces. But like if it's an odd number of spaces away and you roll an even number, you're never going to get to the star. Like no matter how hard you try, you just can't. And so it adds a different layer of strategy where you actually have 2 characters on a team and you roll your die together. So you combine scores and you both go that amount of spaces. So like you can split up and go to separate parts of the map to, one person goes towards the star, another one goes towards like some special spaces on the map or something like that. There's also like ally spaces where you pick up different characters and you can use their dice blocks instead of your own, because every character has their own special dice block. and some of them might be like a pretty kind of basic 1 to 6 wash, but like 1 and 2 are coins instead of 1 and 2. Or you might have something that's like all 1s and all 10s. So, high risk, high reward. Shy Guy specifically, I think, has a 0 and then 5 4s. So you have you almost always get a 4. So that's really good, from a strategy standpoint of like counting out, okay, I am 4 spots away from the star. I'm either going to move or I'm not, basically. So things like that kind of add a level of strategy to it. And you get these allies, and on top of getting their die, you also, they roll, and they always get a 1 or a 2. So they just kind of give you a little bit extra. And that is separate from the partner die that you roll together. So you could both roll with 4. You go 8 spaces, which technically you don't, because when you roll doubles, it doubles your total, but that's complicated. So you both get 8, but then you have 2 allies, they have 1. So you get, 2 ally blocks, they get a 1 and a 2. So you get 11, they get maybe 9. And then if you have any items like mushrooms or anything, they also get added to the total. So your base score stays the same, your base roll stays the same, but then any modifiers you have are only added to you. So that's one of those situations where it's they might not have any allies and their die only rolls evens, but you know that you can roll the same thing and get odds through your allies. So you're guaranteed to get the star, even though they can't. So you kind of have to talk to each other and figure out how best to navigate the map to get to where you want to go. And it's just really cool. And also if you go through the spot of an opponent, you jump on their head and take a coin. And if you land on the spot of an opponent, you take, I think, 3 coins.
Oh wow.
So there's some really cool stuff in that mode. And I guess it's only been in the 3DS version of the Mario Party series. And even then they added in some new elements and stuff to this one. So they gave you the regular old mode, which I feel was kind of dumbed down because they want you to play this new mode. Even the maps, they're kind of small because when you play them in this free mode, like I said, it's a grid. So they actually feel a lot bigger because you have, every space is somewhere you can go. Whereas the regular boards, it's just kind of a line around. So it's they built the mode, they built the boards assuming you would play it in this free-for-all mode, the grid-based mode, instead of the old classic mode. Because the boards are built for that, which is weird, but I'm not explaining it very well because we were kind of drunk when we were playing, so I don't remember the names of anything.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a weird amount of content locked away at first, and there's a weird kind of focus on almost a narrative to it, considering it's Mario Party and there's really no actual single player mode in the game. So for example, each area of the map, you actually roam around this kind of party map, and you go up to a big kind of jumbotron, and it tells you what that mode is, and then you go in and you can play. The mini games are on one screen, the classic mode is on one screen, things like that. You're just kind of wandering around this parkade plaza to each different thing, and it doesn't feel great. I would have just rather had a menu where you choose the different things. But each mode has a gem attached to it, a GEM. So if you play all 4 boards, you unlock the gem for the classic mode. And I think there's 5 gems in the whole thing. So if you play the River Rapids, you do all the different exits on the River Rapids mode, you get that gem, things like that. And I guess once you get all of them, you get the ending cutscene of the game. So it's that's kind of the story mode, but it's not a good one. It's an incentive to do everything, but it just doesn't. It's kind of weirdly tacked on. Whereas in past games, they've just had a single player mode where it's you play either single player, 2-player, whatever, against the opponents with kind of some light here's why you're playing type story attached to it. and you have to go through these different things to unlock other areas. Like, I think you have to play through the classic mode before any of the other modes unlock. And like, you get all of the you unlock all of the mini games, and it unlocks like the challenge mode or something. And like, it's just there's some. I miss when the days when there was like unlockable things in games, but it just feels so arbitrary. Like, there's unlockable characters, and that's neat. Although it is weird that Donkey Kong is an unlockable character in a Mario Party game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's strange.
You have to unlock Donkey Kong.
No, that doesn't...
There was Mario Party games where he wasn't even in it. Like, he was just like some side character.
Really?
Yeah, there were, like, in the middle there, he was like on the board instead, and that was weird too.
Yeah.
But he's an OG.
Yeah.
It's like you have the cast of characters is actually really cool. Like, there's some obscure ones. My favorite is Monty Mole, because for one, he has a pretty good die, and also he's adorable. But you can be a Goomba, which is really funny in the mini games because he doesn't have arms. So he does everything with his head. Like, if you're, carrying something along like a maze, he just like puts it on his head and runs. There's a new mechanic where like you get 2 extra coins at the end of the mini game by doing a waggle based high five with your partner. And if you're playing with Goomba, he just like looks at you. If you activate the high five, he just kind of like jumps up in the air and you like smack his face. And if you don't, he just kind of gives you a look like, "What do you want from me? I don't have hands." And it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty good.
Like, Goomba's the best. And there's also there's a sound mode, like a kind of rhythm based mini games. And a lot of those are like, kind of hitting the button press to like do different dance moves and stuff. And I've exclusively played as Goomba in that mode, which is just the best because he's just kind of like dooting side to side. While everyone else is like, getting down and like moving their bodies, he's just wiggle, 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 wiggle. And he like bobs his head up and down a little bit. But yeah, Goomba's the stupidest character to ever put in Mario Party, and I love it.
That's good.
But that was a big part of what I played the last while. I did try out the newest Need for Speed game, Need for Speed Payback, that we had kind of talked about at last E3? Last year's E3?
Yeah, I think so.
And I was like, oh, that actually looks like a good Need for Speed game. And then it got just kind of middling reviews. But I thought I'd check it out. Like, why not?
Yeah.
I found it cheap. And I mean, it's Need for Speed. Like, it's very arcadey. The physics of it and like the way it flows feels very much like a kind of an old school arcade game with like open world elements kind of shoehorned in just because it's, it's modern. You have to be open world.
Right.
But like, for example, if you run into a wall or something in the middle of a race, like it just goes black and resets you back on the track. And it's just this kind of jarring, like, oh, right, this is an arcade game. And like, it has a pretty okay story. Like, the characters, it's a Fast and Furious story, but the characters are interesting enough, and like they have cool personalities and they're well acted and stuff, that it kind of elevates it higher than what it would be otherwise. Okay. But like, for example, in photo mode, the person driving the car disappears. Like,
weird.
All that matters is the cars in this game. Like the characters you play as, it just decides what type of car you have. There's just one character that's very off-road focused, one that's like total speed demon, and the other that's kind of more of like the maneuverability, like kind of, like trick races type things.
Technical, yeah.
Yeah, technical, thank you. So the missions that involve the different characters are just because like that's the kind of race you're doing at that time. They don't really matter that much. And so like it's really jarring because like you never see the characters outside of cutscenes really. Except when they're in the car. Like, you don't get out of the car and wander around like in GTA or anything like that. Even like the old driver games, like those got to the point where, you got out of the car and did stuff. Right. It was never great. Like, you never wanted to get out of the car. But it was an option. It made the character feel real. Yeah. And this, like, it'll kind of awkwardly go from in-game engine to cutscene engine, which does not look the same.
I can only imagine.
It reminds me of like Deus Ex Human Revolution, when like there's just an extra like, level of kind of gloss and like atmosphere in the cutscenes, and then it goes back to the game, and it's like, oh right, this is what the game actually looks like.
Right.
I would even say it looks better. It just looks different. Like it's a different art style in the cutscenes, which is weird because they try to do seamless transitions, but the graphics changed.
Weird. Weird.
And so like a lot of times you'll get to where you're going and it'll kind of stutter for a second and go black and then go straight to the cutscene. So it's like game, boom, cutscene. Like just enough that it's jarring. And then sometimes it'll transition straight from like you'll get in your car and it'll turn into the game again. And that actually looks really good. Sometimes it doesn't. So it's like the presentation of it is a little off.
Yeah.
And as people have mentioned in a lot of reviews and stuff, the game is a little microtransaction heavy. Not to the point where like you feel like you have to buy anything, but it's just like everything in the game is really expensive using in-game currency. And it's like these like upgrade cards that you buy in packs, like booster packs basically. And you can also just go into the tune-up shop and like find like individual ones that randomize when you go in. And you can pick your liking, but they're just kind of like they're just stat boosts to your car. You slot them into like the engine spot or the like EU, which I don't know what that is, and then like the nitro spot.
The European Union.
Different. Sure, yeah. You slot it into the European Union. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
So obvious.
And so like you're tricking out the different, parts of your car, which has always been a thing, but it was always like you just upgrade it. Like you upgrade the engine and it makes your car faster and accelerate better, whatever. You upgrade the brakes and it, fixes your handling and stuff like that. These are just like random stat buffs that have a focus on a certain thing. Like you might see one for your engine that has like brakes and acceleration kind of on the card, showing that's what its specialty. And then you'll go to the card and see the actual stat boosts, like the breakdown of stat boosts. And like they have levels on them, like when you start, they're like 2, 3, or 4. And so you can see like this one's clearly better than this one, but it doesn't feel like you're making your car better. It just feels like it's a loadout, kind of.
Yeah. Weird.
And so like you can sell the cards back for credit to put towards other cards, but it's like it's not 1-to-1. It's like 3 cards. You sell 3 cards and like get 1 back, basically. And 1 card is like at my level is like $14,000 or credits, whatever it's called. And that's about what you get for 1 race. Again, at my level. So like the first race I did, I got a $14,000 reward, and then I went to the tune-up shop, and everything cost about that. I'm like, okay, so this is the game I'm playing, basically.
Okay.
Like they want you to grind out races to be able to afford this stuff. That's what this is. And it's not terrible, but it's like you also have to do certain challenge like objectives to unlock the different areas to customize your car. So like when I first went into the garage, basically all I had was paint. Which again, you can pick like any color, you can do like metallic, satin, like a lot of different options there. But it's still just paint and a few other little things I had unlocked, like some of the side skirts, like by your driver's side, and then I think the front bumper and the license plate. That's pretty much it. Like I didn't have any decals. I didn't have any like ability to like, do anything with the body kit really. It was very simple. And my favorite thing about Need for Speed is customizing your cars. And that should like unlock over time, but I'm just hoping that it's not like a crazy grind to get to where I can actually customize anything. Because these cars look pretty boring, and just changing the color doesn't fix that. So I'm not complaining about that element and like on its own. I'm wary about how it's going to progress over time. And how much they're going to expect you to just grind it all out. But when you're driving around in the world, it's actually really fun. Like at first, it seemed like it was just drive to the next objective, do this thing, drive. but after you finish up the prologue, you basically start off at like an air base, and there's like little kind of side quests all over the place around you, and like collectibles and things like that. So it basically does become an open world at that point. Okay. And like from the air hangar, you can see like some little jump missions where it's like you have to go off the ramp and go a certain amount of distance to get, you know, like a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and those give you like credits basically. There's one that was like a speed trap, so you have to get to a certain speed and then hit the trap. You get so there's a lot of different cool little things like that. Also, while you're driving around, you can find just like random other racers that you might have seen like in races, and you can like 1v1 them, just kind of in a like just on the spot like point race. And there's different collectibles, like there's old cars, like old broken down cars you can salvage around the map. I picked up a random collectible. I'm not sure what it was, but I did a jump and I was like, oh, I just grabbed something. Okay. So like there's really cool stuff in it. I'm not sure this microtransaction grind is going to do it any favors as I continue on. But I am enjoying it. Like I'm glad I got it. It still feels great to drive, even though some of the races, like I told you guys this on the Discord, it's very checkpoint based in the races. So if you miss a checkpoint, you have to go back to it. So it's like there's kind of off the beaten path areas you can go on the races, but only if it doesn't miss a checkpoint. Otherwise, you have to basically backtrack, and it kind of ruins the point of taking the shortcut. So it kind of like it forces you on the path. And I'm sure there's some that aren't like that, but everyone I've seen so far, at least, kind of just expects you to take the path.
It sounds like they were trying to be Forza Horizon, like quite a bit.
But that's why I got it, because I didn't want to pay for Forza Horizon. So,
well, I mean, like even the older games, it's just like that. They all have that.
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it more time. I pretty much just played it last night for a little bit.
Okay.
Because it took a while to download, but I'm into it so far, and I think it has the potential. Because like I was reading the reviews again, just deciding if I actually wanted to get it, and they weren't bad. I think the average rating was like 6 or 7 out of 10.
Oh,
and most of the negatives were saying that it feels kind of grindy, and that the some of the races, like the elements of the races, are annoying, like the checkpoint system, things like that. So it feels a little dated, but it's not a bad game by any means.
Yeah, how's like the actual driving? How's that working?
Driving's great. Like all of the cars feel different. Like I like that element of the 3 different characters, because like the first mission you do, for example, is like introducing you to them. So you kind of jump back and forth between the 3, almost like the GTA 5.
Okay.
And you get to feel each of their cars like one after the other, and there is a noticeable difference in their handling. And then you get into the actual world, like kind of after the opening mission, and you have this like junker car. And it's like it can barely reach 100 miles an hour, and I'm like, man, this is rough. Like, in a good way, you know, like it's not just like you're in this dinky little Geo Metro going 200 miles an hour and zipping around corners. Like,
it
encourages you to want to get a better car.
Yeah,
but there's the e-brake to do quick turns, kind of doing tapping the brake as you turn a little bit does some really nice skidding. One of the guy, like the off-road guy, is heavy into drifting. So there's some really cool drifting stuff you can do when you're off-road, kind of, going into the curves, things like that. There's a super fun mission where I had to get enough points from drifting. So it's like keep the drift going long enough to rack up multipliers, which is really cool. Again, it's Need for Speed. Like, it's a better Need for Speed than we've been getting. So, like, picture the classics, but way better looking.
Okay.
With that kind of old handling and, play style. The burnout stuff I could probably do without. Like, the fact that you can crash vehicles into... They don't really do much with that. It's like they have a health bar over them, and you just kind of, like, ram them into the wall a few times, and then you see, like, the crash cam as they spin out, and then it goes back to you, and you keep moving. Like, it's not that interesting, but it's a good element, I guess.
Interesting.
Cars shouldn't have health bars unless it's Twisted Metal or Interstate 76.
Right. And they regenerate too.
That's so stupid.
Really? It's a shield, basically. If you don't hit them again soon enough, it starts to like go back up, which looks real stupid. But it makes it feel arcadey.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like this is not a realistic racing game, but it's fun.
Away with it, then.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that the first thing you go into is the customization stuff, because I haven't even touched that in Forza yet.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
That game's pretty looking too. I would imagine that's one of the first things.
No, I like doing the actual stuff. Like I'm like, all right, guys, like I got a new car, and they're like, here's these all these like customized paint jobs that people have done, and I just picked the one with the monster can on it because I like Monster.
Of course.
Or Red Bull.
Of course.
Or Mountain Dew or whatever else they have.
Basically the sponsored ones.
I should see if they have wrestling ones. They should have wrestling ones. I should check that out.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, see if they do.
So I just picked that one and then I go, yeah. In Forza Horizon 4, like each car has their own tree, like skill tree to go, like you can level up. And it's pretty
That's a weird
sweet.
thought.
Because in Forza 3, there was just like this one skill tree with all these different sections. But in this one, it's like you can level up your car so that it could get better points in drifting or speed, skills, stuff like that. I totally, like, as soon as you said, you were like, man, I'm just driving this shit-ass car and it can only go like 100 miles per hour. I'm like, yeah, I had that exact same thought going through my head like yesterday while I was driving my Subaru. I'm like, I love this car.
I had to do was well, I didn't have to, but like the first thing I came across in the world was a speed trap, and I had to go 90 miles an hour, and I was struggling.
Yeah, I loved my Subaru, but it was just like it just doesn't have the speed. But like it's like a great all around car that I had. I think it's a WRX 15. I'm not sure. Like I'm not a car guy at all, but if I play this game long enough, I might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't know if you were done or not.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing a lot of Mega Man 11 also, but
Okay.
I assume you guys probably talked about that last week, so
Yeah, we talked about that a bit.
I don't really need to get into it, but it's a really good game.
How's the Wily stages going?
They're hard. Like they're hard in the way that you just have to figure them out. Like every level in the game gets to the point where, you know, it seems annoying at first. It's like this level is so long, like I hate that I died. I have to go through the whole thing again. And then 5 or 6 runs through it, you're like zipping through, and it's like, oh, I'm already to the boss.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't that bad. But I will say that a fan favorite enemy comes back, and it's not my favorite version of him. Like he's a little easier than usual. But I've never really liked him in the first place, so I'm kind of glad he's a little easier. But
Is it Metal Blade?
It was still a fun fight.
Is Metal Blade in the game?
That's a weapon.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
I think I know what he's talking about.
I was trying
Metal
to do a thing, but never mind.
Go to sleep.
Literally before the show, I was phase first in my mattress, just like trying to sleep. Yeah. Speaking of which, about racing games, I got myself a driving wheel.
Ooh,
A racing wheel.
Yeah, I was trying to play with my controller, and I'm like, man, I wish I had a racing wheel.
It's kind of hard to get used to after playing with a controller for like 10 hours.
I can only imagine.
Because I got really good at the drifting and stuff, and I was like doing really well in all the races, and I bumped up the difficulty a bit. And then I'm on my racing wheel, I'm like, everyone's just zipping by me, I'm burning out on all my turns. I'm like, fuck, man, like this is difficult to do. And like the wheel has like 4 speed back in it, so like you'll feel like the traction with the steering wheel. And yeah, like I actually have to learn how to do drifting and stuff, like how you would normally drift for real. And I could never get that. Man. I could never get that down like in video game form to begin with, but like I've gotten a little bit better at it. I replaced my clutch with the e-brake, because the e-brake was on one of the face buttons on the thing. So I'm like, I'm not gonna hit a face button and then steer. Like that's not how I do things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying that. I'm hoping to play some American Truck Simulator with it as well, because I have a couple
nice
other games that I wanted to use it with. And yeah, it's the one negative though is that it can't really go anywhere, so it's kind of just stuck on my desk or like off to the side a bit, because there's all these wires and attachments and stuff. So I'm actually
use it for a non-racing game.
That's the thing. I was playing Destiny for a little bit, and then I go to my dad. I'm like, "What if I just remap the steering wheel to play with Destiny?" And he's like,
"Please do it."
Yes.
There's no way you could do that. I'm like,
"No, do it and then get really good at it."
Yeah. I'm actually really contemplating that because I just need to load up. I've seen a dude
play Overwatch with bananas. You can play Destiny with the steering wheel.
There's people that have beaten most games in existence with either the DK bongos or a DDR dance pad.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like if I load up the software, it was like load up other games that it can be worked with, and like The Witcher 3 was one of them. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yes,
that's awesome.
So yeah, it's really tempting. Yeah, I'm playing with the steering or the pads right now with my feet, so that's fun. Like, go gas. Okay.
Go Thomas, go.
Lo, what have you been up to? More Yakuza, maybe?
More Yakuza, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
me and Lo like gushed about Yakuza for a while last week, so
yeah, I love
another one.
I'm having so much fun with this game, like partially because it's just so wacky and random, and I can just get into the randomness shit when I'm on my way to an objective. Like, I'll literally be on my way to an objective point, and then like I'll pass someone on the street, and then like it's like, oh, something's going on over here, and then I get pulled into this sub story, and then I end up doing the sub story, and then end up getting something cool out of it. So it's like, oh, okay, neat. So but yeah, so I just finished Majima's first kind of stretch. And I'm back to Kiryu. He's doing the whole real estate thing. So I was just getting into that. I just bought like the little gift box for the, I guess we're gonna do some business, try to get some squatter out of some like property or something like that. But this game is just so random. But that's one of the things I love about it so much. It's just, there's just so much stuff to do. And
I love that you texted me as soon as you like met Majima. You're like, this guy is so cool.
He is really cool. Like, I was like, at first I'm like, I don't trust this eye patch dude. What's his deal? He's got an eye patch, you know? But then I was like, okay. So there's like more to, there's a lot more to, like, to these characters and stuff like that. So it's just like the more subquests and stuff you use, kind of like the more you get to know them. And it's just, I don't know. It's really cool. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's very different from, you know, when Sonic Mania first came out. I was like, oh, cool, Sonic Mania. It's a good Sonic game, but it's also at the same time, it's a good Sonic game. I've played Sonic games several times before. You know, it's like, okay, this is great. Like, this is a good, solid Sonic game, but I've never played Yakuza before, and I've always heard about it. And you know, I'm just kind of glad it finally came to Steam, so it gave me an excuse to just get it. You know, so I've just been playing that, and yeah, I'm just kind of taking my time with it too, because it's just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna wander around, fight some dudes, because fighting dudes, I just like fighting dudes in this game. Like, I'll just run around and did. Oh, another thing. Last week I was talking about how I felt like the combat was a little bit too easy. I did this one random side quest, and I got this item. It'll basically just make people like attack me more often and like way more aggressive. I'm like, okay, I complain about something, and the game gives me something to fix it. Sweet.
I have not got that item yet.
It's called the Charismatic Autobiography, and you get it from doing you get it from you basically teach these like loser nerdy guys and how to be like a cool like badass like greaser band and shit. And then depending on like your answers, it's like you basically like you kind of like teach them like how to be like cool and shit like that, because they're doing some live show or something. And depending on how well you do, you can get this item.
Is it the breakdancers? Is it the breakdancers or no?
It's not the breakdancers. It's okay. You're playing as Kiryu, and it's like they look like they look like total greasers. They're called Yankee.
Oh,
or Yankee
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
That sub story. And so like you get this item and it makes people attack you more often, and then they're like super hyper aggressive. And I was like, okay, this is sweet. This makes things a little more challenging. Cool. So that's pretty cool. It was pretty fun. And man, I just love hidden people just having money fly off of them. That's probably one of my favorite things.
It's
great. One of those favorite parts of the game. It's just, yeah, it's a good time. It's been another thing. I was playing this game. I was like, wow, it's been a really long time since I've actually been excited for like a Sega game. At first, like it's usually when a new Sega game comes out or something like that, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, let's flip the coin. Is this gonna be good or bad?
The items
this is actually pretty good.
The items that I normally have on is I think it's called security wallet, or it's a wallet, and it just gives you like more cash, and like if the guy that beats you up to take your money, he doesn't really
I got
take
a few different. There's a few different like versions of that item. So like there's multiple ways to get something sort of like that. But I think I got like one of the better ones. It's like I forget. It's like a security belt or some travel wallet or something like that. That's pretty cool.
And then the other one that I
still haven't taken that guy down yet.
And the other one that I have on all the time is the card finder.
Oh yeah, I just got that. I was like, what's the? Oh, I'm gonna use this.
Yeah, so I've collected a lot of telephone cards with sexy ladies on them. And there's a dude that you show your set to, and he gives you like 5 million yen or something. It's ridiculous.
What? Okay, hell yeah. You just have to show it to him?
Yeah, you just show him your set of cards.
Nice. Okay.
It's pretty
good
sweet
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm having fun with this game. The cutscenes are a little long, but they're really well done at the same time, so I don't really mind sitting through them. Because like usually when a cutscene starts, I'll forget like to put my controller down. I'm like, they're that long. It's like they rival Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're basically like Metal Gear Solid style.
They're pretty well done though. Like the voice acting's pretty good. I know like it's kind of hard to tell like if it's good or bad because it's Japanese, but like you can kind of like you get like the tone and like the cadence and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
they do a really good job with that. Yeah, the tone.
Yeah, they're really emphatic with their voice acting and all that. So it's just really refreshing. I got a Sega game and it's pretty good and it's captivated my attention. So I've been playing that, and I actually just with all the Mega Man talk going on lately, I actually jumped back into 20XX just for my. I like to jump in, do like a good 20-minute run, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Mostly Yakuza 0, and it's just making me look. This game is making me look forward to the next one, which Kiwami, I guess that's the remake of the first game.
Yeah, is that coming out on PC? Do you know?
Yeah, because on the store page, it's like under like, oh, the recommended titles, just like this game. It's like coming soon or something like that. So I'm looking forward to playing that eventually. Cool. But I'm enjoying the heck out of this game right now.
Very cool. I guess you didn't get to play the game that I gave you.
Not yet. No.
Okay. How about that other game that I gave you?
Oh, I played one of them. Wait, which one are you talking about? I just realized you gave me two.
I gave you one for review and then one just for funsies.
Yes, I played the one you gave me for review. Yes, I'm just having to edit it down because it's a little on the slow side, but
okay, yeah, all right.
It's good.
Is it good?
It needs improvement in certain areas, but
is it actually
it's good-ish?
Or okay,
it's good-ish. Let's just say it's good-ish.
I need you to be honest with me.
It's good-ish because
this is great radio.
Yeah.
No one knows.
It's
I mean, he can talk about it. I'm not saying he can't talk about it.
I wasn't sure. That's why I didn't say anything. But the name of the game is Heaven, Hevn, and it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. It's not all like, I'm going to jump around the corner and like scare the shit out of you. It's more of like an atmospheric mystery sci-fi.
It's supposed to be like exploring Mars or something, right?
It's not Mars. It's like a planetoid that's orbiting some random star and it's just like some made up shit. It's just like stuff. But it's just part of it is just kind of like part of it's just getting like just wrapping your head around like the world and like the kind of lore and stuff spheric than anything else.
Is it like a walking simulator or is it a shooter?
It's kind of a mix of things. It's kind of like it's a little bit of Half-Life, a little bit of Prey actually. Yeah, it's a good mix of those two, and then probably that's probably the best way to describe it. It's lacking a little bit on the polish end, and then there's just some weird sort of graphical things that happen here or there. But I mean, like it just needs work, is what it is. It's like it's very clear what the dev's intention was, And yeah, you'll be able to see more of it when the video drops. But I don't want to give away too much now. But I didn't like I was playing it and I'm like, I didn't not enjoy it. I was like, oh, okay. I was actually like getting into it. Like by the time I was done, I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to know more about this. I wanted to keep playing so I can figure out what was going on, essentially. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's what I've been playing.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing here. It's just more Destiny and Forza. That's it. I haven't had a whole lot of time. I've been watching a lot of Friday the 13th movies, and I would like to do a watch along with Justin for Jason X once I get there.
Yes.
So if you're free
I
sometime,
haven't watched that movie in years, so who knows if it actually holds up? But I'm pretty sure it does.
So if you're free sometime this week, we should get together and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Justin, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter and YouTube if they look up Zero Score.
And
I think since the last time I was on, the Marvel Games video went out. I think that was like between now and the last time of my 5 like pitches for different future Marvel games. Kind of inspired by how much I love Spider-Man on PS4. Just coming up with some other ideas that I think they could do next. I had a lot of fun with that, even though Fox tried to take it down. They can't stop me. And I uploaded it bigger, better, stronger, and a lot more watermarks.
Nice.
That's probably my favorite part now, though. It's like, boom.
Yeah.
Here, have this.
Courtesy of. All right. I was gonna say Ben, but low.
I was gonna say, like, where Ben? Where is he? You guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0 THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero with letters. I recently came out with a new video on the lowdown kind of series of videos that I'm doing, and it's just me rambling on about free to play games. And yeah, you guys should check it out. You should also follow me on Twitter because I'm a cool guy.
Oh, okay.
Humble brag.
Maybe I will then.
I'm actually going to unfollow you because that's... I mean, who's that cocky?
Maybe that's what I want.
I don't want that on my timeline.
I just want to say one thing about my racing wheel is that every time I turn on my computer, it spins all the way to the right and then all the way to the left and then back again.
What?
Like a calibration kind of thing?
Yeah,
maybe?
so like whenever I turn on my computer and it starts freaking out, I'm like, oh, it's like, what's
So
going on
it's
here?
legit. Like it has force feedback and everything.
Yeah, it's got force feedback and everything. It's also got like an LED indicator on the top that tells you like when you're supposed to shift gears.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
See, I had like an old like N64, just like Mad Catz one.
Oh,
That's the only racing wheel experience. Well, I mean, outside of like arcades.
I'll throw it up on the video, so if you're watching the video version of this, you can see what it looks like. It's
Fancy.
yeah,
fancy schmancy.
It's like a controller inside it though. That's kind of goofy looking.
that's how they are. You have more buttons. They used to look way worse. Just to let you know. Yeah, you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find me on charshot.com. That's where all of our audio, video, written content lives. Also, you can email me, thomas@charshot.com. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, you guys. Okay, cool. Take 5, everybody. I'm gonna grab a water or something.
Cool.
Oh, for taking 5, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I was gonna wait.
Yeah, so my next movie for the Jason series is Jason Goes to Hell. And I've heard nothing about that movie.
I only heard the title. I've only heard the title before, and that was like back when I was in school and all that shit. And it's like, oh, that sounds like a good time.
Like the one I watched last night, Jason Goes to Manhattan, or Jason Takes Manhattan, was weird.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, it's called Jason Takes Manhattan, and it's just like in my mind, I just picture Jason going all the way to New York and just slicing fools left and right.
New York.
But they actually tell the story of how he gets there, and it's so stupid. It's like
He's just there.
No, it's like he's at Crystal Lake, and the kids are like, "All right, guys, we're going." Like the kids and those teachers, and they're like, "We're going to New York for a trip." And then they go on the boat, and they had this whole shit on the boat that I was just like, "This is just Jason on a boat. I don't. This is bullshit. I signed up for."
Just slow walked all the way there.
He actually does that.
Are you kidding me?
So like the boat sinks, and then there's these kids on the raft, and they're like trying to find their way to New York, and they're just like oaring the whole way, and they finally get there on the pier, and then Jason just like walks out of the water.
That is stupid. Yeah, I should have known. I should have known.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing with that series. Like once they got to like 4 or something. Yeah.
No horror series can stay serious.
It's pretty good.
You run out of story after like 2.
I think all of the Jason movies have been rated like 6 or lower on IMDb. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Justin?
Yeah, I've been ready.
Okay.
13th series.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast.
Nailed it. Nailed it. One. Let's go.
Faceplant right out the gate.
This is the first time I've done that for this show. Hello everyone, welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your host Thomas and Justin.
Hi. So I don't see the ratings for the Friday the 13th movies yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay, IMDb, that's what I was referencing. And
yeah, but
and
you can only find the individual ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to each movie. That's too much work.
And then don't do it.
Tell me how to...
I think Jason Takes Manhattan was like a 15 on Metacritic, which I just laughed at. I was like,
that is such a dumb sounding title. That sounds like the Muppets do Manhattan or some shit. It might as well be the Muppets.
I mean,
there was a TV show. Did you know there was a TV show of Friday the 13th?
I feel like I knew that, but I've never seen it.
No way.
It went for like 3 years.
It was live action?
What?
Yeah.
I feel like there was also an animated series at some point.
I don't know, like how. I mean, the movies are already like they think they kill Jason, and then he comes back in the next one. How do you do that for 3 seasons?
You make it not about Jason. You make it about the Crystal Lake and the campers and the sheriff.
Oh, it probably is.
And then Jason comes in at the last episode and kills everybody, and then goes away. Yeah, Lo. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm getting through life.
Hey, that's all I can ask.
One day at a time.
Do your best.
Also getting through life.
I just want to point out that even on the first Friday the 13th movie, you're already wrong because it had a 6.5 out of 10.
All right, well, I meant 6, like ish. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm glad you stopped the show for this.
Right? It's very important. Hey, Friday the 13th is game related. The game is on PlayStation Plus right now.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, brought it all back.
Speaking of game services, Microsoft announces Xbox game streaming service, the xCloud.
I'm proud of you.
Nice.
Okay, moving on.
No, this is cool.
Microsoft announced its plans to enter the world of video game streaming with Project xCloud, an ambitious service with a silly title. All right, that's editorializing.
Kotaku editorializing? Never.
Never heard of such a thing.
Promises to allow the streaming of Xbox One games across computers, phones, and tablets. Microsoft says it's currently testing out the Project xCloud. Plans to open up tests to the public next year. Company said that the game developers will be able to support the streaming service with no additional work, and that in addition to trying to solve the big old latency problem, With Microsoft's many data centers, the team developing a new game-specific touch input overlay for controller-free playing. Our goal with Project xCloud is to deliver a quality experience for all gamers on all devices that's consistent with the speed and high fidelity gamers experience and expect on their PCs and consoles.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying that streaming is like the future of gaming. I mean, even Switch right now, they've been testing streaming like next gen or current gen games in Japan.
Mhm.
They did it with Resident Evil 7 and now with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yep.
And those games are running fairly well on the Switch, like a system that could not run them if it was on the hardware itself. So
Very interesting.
It's interesting that they can do this because they're doing all of the heavy processing and they're just streaming the game to your system.
Yeah.
So really, like they could have very cheap systems with like good Wi-Fi chips in them, or like Ethernet ports or whatever, and you can get next gen stuff without needing next gen price points for your hardware.
That's crazy.
And that's really cool. There was something else I think through the Project Street, like the Google Cloud Stream or whatever it's called, where they were streaming Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the Google Chrome tab.
Oh,
so you just like open up a tab, load up the game, and you're playing inside your browser with like no latency or anything.
That is nuts. Future is now, you guys.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't see it working for everyone because like I have a lot of issues with streaming anything.
Right.
We try to load up Netflix in the bedroom and it goes all fuzzy 360p. Just because CenturyLink sucks.
Yeah.
And they're probably listening right now, but I don't care, you suck.
The internet just goes out. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes just.
Well, it was a good run. But I think this has a lot of potential in the next few years. And it's kind of cool that Xbox is getting out in front of it because they need to do something to compete next gen. And so it feels like they're trying now to get ahead, and then Sony will be reactionary next gen. Whereas, this gen Xbox was kind of reactionary.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing here to note is that they said that they are going to have like their own, like developers won't have to deal with putting like touch inputs on the devices. Like they don't have to code for that. Xbox is going to handle that.
That's pretty sweet.
That's crazy for like you'll be able to stream this to your phone and like iPad or whatever.
That is
also touch interfaces are garbage. So just hook a Bluetooth Xbox controller up to your phone, you monster.
Yep. Also that.
Am I gonna put in an Xbox controller in my pants when I go somewhere?
Yes. That way the ladies will be like, is that an Xbox controller in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Then you can be like, this is the Duke, baby.
Or just say, why not both?
Yeah,
like,
say both and just start playing Forza in front of them.
And you're like, there you go.
With your boner.
Look at that car. That's how you control the stick.
Meeting ladies through video games.
Yeah, that manual stick shift, if you know what I mean.
This is a cool project though, in all seriousness. But it seems like the last biggest hurdle really is that big old latency issue. But it sounds like that's something they've been actively working on, and it's just I'm looking forward to see like how they're gonna deal with that. Like, because it's just I don't know, because you can't really necessarily account for everybody's varying internet connections and things like that. But this will be really interesting. Like, it's a cool thought that's just like game streaming is like just like come this far, and it's just I don't know. It's a really exciting time.
I mean, average internet speeds have gotten up into like the 16 megabit range. Again, on average. Obviously, that means there's a lot of people that are higher and a lot of people that are lower. But I think if we can get that average up to 20, that this will be an everyday thing.
Oh yeah,
because they recommend a 20 megabit connection, and so if that's not the average yet, then that means that it's the higher tier that are only going to be able to do this well.
Right.
And that's just like anything else. VR, like it's still a very niche product because a lot of people like it, but the average person doesn't care. So this is the same thing. If the average person can't use it, it's not gonna catch on.
Yeah.
But if this is another option, like let's say there's the Xbox Scarlet or whatever's next, that's like a $500 like Xbox One X replacement, running next gen hardware, and then there's this thing like the X Cloud box, that's like $100 streaming box that has Ethernet connection.
There you go.
And bypasses some of those internet issues, like maybe some kind of like, I don't know, like an internet booster inside of it or something. I don't know how that works. But like some of that's offloaded on them, so you don't need as high of speeds. Like those two things are going to help a lot, because the people that can run it will just buy the $100 streaming box. The people that can't have the option to get the expensive thing that doesn't need to stream. It can just do it all offline, or everything's online, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think that's just going to segment the stuff further, where instead of like right now we have Xbox One, Xbox One X, PS4, PS4 Pro, it's going to just be the high end and then the stream box for each system. Which is a feature that I can get behind. Especially if you can also just do it on your phone with a if you have the Game Pass and you could run all of the Game Pass games on your phone when you're out.
Yeah.
That would kill the Switch, honestly.
Oh man. Oh geez. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Speaking of Microsoft news, we have Microsoft closing into buying Obsidian. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet. It hasn't been an update on the news story itself, but Microsoft is finalizing a deal to acquire the independent development studio Obsidian Entertainment. According to 3 people briefed on negotiations, we don't know if the ink's on paper yet. Plenty of major acquisition deals have fallen before. One person with knowledge of the deal told Kotaku they heard it was 90% finished. They reached out to Obsidian for a comment, and they say, unfortunately, we don't comment on rumors or speculation, other than to say that Rumors album by Fleetwood Mac still holds up.
Which is a pretty great statement, actually.
You big Fleetwood Mac fans?
No, I just meant like the fact that that's their official statement on the matter. Okay. That's pretty great. They have a good sense of humor over there at Obsidian.
Yeah.
I mean, they made Fallout New Vegas, and that game has a really good sense of humor, so...
They've made a lot of RPGs. Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity.
South Park Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's not listed here, but they made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I think, is like Xbox needs a studio like this to kind of, branch out their options a little bit. But also this studio needs some backing, because they've struggled a lot to make like follow-ups to games. Like they didn't build the engine for New Vegas, but they like improved everything about that, and then they didn't get another chance to make a Fallout game. They made Knights of the Old Republic 2. I thought they made 1 actually, but whatever. They made Knights of the Old Republic 2, and then like that series ended. They made South Park Stick of Truth, and then Ubisoft went in-house for the sequel, which a lot of people would say is not as good as the first one was. Like, their first chance to kind of do something as a continuation to something else they did was Pillars of Eternity 2. Which I don't know anything about that series, but like they have a lot of potential. They just don't get a chance to work on anything, is the point I was trying to make.
Yeah. They've always been like, they've been a very PC centric company for a while. And I always feel like they've made like solid RPGs, or like just like maybe like it used to be BioWare and then Obsidian for me, and then BioWare's just fallen so far ever since EA acquired them.
Rip.
And I feel like
BioWare if they wanted.
Yeah, like especially with Microsoft, because Mass Effect 1 was published by Microsoft. And so who knows what happened? Who knows what's going to go with this? It's just
like they have that level of quality.
Yeah, it just excites me because it's like their games are going to be featured with the Game Pass going forward. It's crazy. Like I'm super hyped about this. Like I'm like,
I'm looking.
I'm gonna keep subscribe to Game Pass, get my Obsidian fix. I have their games, I just haven't played them because Destiny has been stealing my life.
Of course.
No problem. I've never played the KOTOR games.
I love the KOTOR games. I have the first one on my phone. Second one was pretty good. Yeah.
I had the first one, I think, like PC disc from a friend, and I tried to install it, and there was like a scratch on the disc, and it wouldn't work.
Rip.
Yeah.
Classic
He felt real bad
issue.
about that because he didn't know when he gave it to me that it was gonna goof up like that.
Yeah. You guys want to move on? Good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Speaking of companies turning things around, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 rumored to replace Infinite in update. I don't know the story on this.
It's a little confusing,
Yeah.
honestly.
It just sounds like it's just a rebrand, just to like, it sounds also like it might just be like to trick people. It's like, hey, it's Marvel vs. Capcom 4, guys, buy the game, and then like, hey, this is just Infinite, you know, like.
Oh, damn.
It's
like
just
that was
yeah,
that was
it's just a rumor, but like I can imagine this being such a hassle for like wiki editors, and then also like just buying stuff in store. Like it's just gonna rebrand it to 4 instead of Infinite. People are like,
see what I'm the hopeful gamer that lives deep down inside me somewhere, probably in the back. He thinks that maybe this could mean like, oh, they're going to rebrand the game, then maybe like update the roster and actually add characters that, you know, aren't there that people actually want. But then that's really wishful thinking, I know. But like, if they're going so far as to change the name of the entire game, then like, I don't know. I feel like almost anything is in play here, like, which could be a good thing. Cause I mean, I don't know. But then again, like, is it too little too late? Like, it's like, oh, well, we got to be at Evo next year, you guys. It's just like, I don't know. Is this really going to like redeem yourselves? Like it seems to me like fighters has already kind of like they kind of like stolen the thunder from Marvel at
honestly,
this point.
fighters should have been the #1 game at Evo this year.
I mean, just I hear rave reviews. I only played it for like an afternoon at a bar, or like for shots. We were betting shots, but like it was fun as hell. Like the game was easy to get into. It wasn't like super complicated. There weren't like a lot of like insane mechanics and stuff you have to worry about. It was just like you just get in there and smash.
It was just way more popular than Street Fighter was. Like
it's also Dragon Ball Z, which has a massive fan base already, and you know, like I don't remember like when the last. Because I mean, you know, there was Xenoverse and all that kind of stuff, but then like, you know, those are all like the Budokais and the Tenkaichis. Those were all kind of like arena based. None of them were really like straight up like 2D fighters. Yeah. And like I feel like this is kind of like filling that kind of slot because it's obviously, you know, it seems like a lot of people were kind of anticipating or like wanting something like this because look how well it's been received. So I don't know, like Capcom, I don't know, you guys might be a little too late on this one, but at the same time, like I would love to like, you know, boot up Infinite one day, like Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and like just, you know, maybe just include like characters that like, you know, weren't there before. So it's like, oh, that's nice, you know, and that would get me playing it again anyways. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It's just all rumor and speculation. I love speculating.
Rumors and innuendo.
I just don't see them doing that because like with the other games they've had, you know, the remixes of them or whatever. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate and things like that.
Right.
And it would sound a little weird to have like a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Ultimate or whatever. So I can see them rebranding just because like maybe they're going to change it to like Marvel vs. Capcom 4 Infinite.
Oh,
like kind of Infinite Edition. Like something like that. But also why? Like,
yeah,
I feel like they're done putting money into this game. I would see them maybe doing like a kind of a quiet release of a new Marvel vs. Capcom game. But a rebrand at this point would still be the same game. Like people are still burned by this game.
Right, exactly. So
and you're not going to fix it when it's a paid thing. The only time you can do that is with like Marvel Heroes, when that rebranded as like Marvel Heroes like 2016 or whatever. And there was like Marvel Heroes Omega. Where like they fixed a lot of elements of that game and like added a bunch of characters and mechanics and things like that, but it was free. So all they had to do was say, hey, this is a drastically different game. You should jump in and play today. And then people got hooked because it's free. And then they started putting money into it. So, I mean, I guess maybe they could put out like a demo with just the new characters or something to show off what they've added. but
yeah,
I just don't see. I wouldn't see it being a fix. It would just be money
Right.
poured into something that's already broken.
yeah, exactly.
broken.
It's like, yeah.
Speaking of rumors, BlizzCon merch store may have leaked new Diablo title.
Oh ho.
So BlizzCon's coming up November 2nd, 2018. It says here, Blizzard has revealed BlizzCon 2018 merchandise and a few items bear the name Diablo Reign of Terror, which may indicate a potential leak of the title of a new game in the Diablo franchise.
I think we talked before already about how they announced multiple Diablo projects are in development,
Yeah.
and that we'll see, like they'll have big news at BlizzCon. So everyone was assuming it's going to be one of those Diablo projects. I would bet this isn't Diablo 4 though.
Expansion, maybe? Do you think?
I would say it's either like a new spin-off title or an expansion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
it's
a
safe
mobile
bet.
game or an expansion or something.
I hope it's not a mobile. I don't want it to be a mobile game or a MOBA or a card game.
Oh, a Diablo MOBA? How awful would that be?
Right? So bad.
I mean,
Like
would
it
not-
could be a spin-off
It
that's
could be
still,
a
you know, is
MOBA.
maybe a different genre. Like StarCraft Ghost. You guys remember that being a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I was super excited for that game because it's like I like StarCraft, but I don't really care for strategy games. I just like that world,
Right.
so I played it.
Yeah.
And StarCraft Ghost was like exactly what I wanted from like a, you know, kind of a branching out of the StarCraft universe. In the same way that like a lot of people I think were excited about World of Warcraft because they loved the
Yeah.
world of the Warcraft games. That's a hard thing to get around. But they wanted a different genre of game. So World of Warcraft let them, you know, open up that more. So maybe even just like a Diablo MMO. I'd be fine with that.
That could be interesting.
But yeah, something in that universe that's different, maybe. But considering it's Blizzard, it's probably a MOBA or a card game.
or a mobile game. There's going to be a panel called Diablo What's Next on November 2nd, so we'll probably learn more then at that date. Okay. Another rumor is casting calls for Bully 2 may have been released.
Bully!
Bully!
Like that's good.
No, this is a rumor, not confirmation. Project could be anything.
Of course.
We have
Technically.
reason to believe that casting calls related to Rockstar Games' upcoming title Bully 2 have been released by a casting director who is not disclosing much information about the title developer as is expected. 7 casting calls for a new unannounced video game title with the leading UK games developer shooting at Pinewood Studios.
Which is the Rockstar studio.
The casting calls are mainly for teenage and young roles and involve placeholder names for the characters. The casting call actually provides a warning and some vague detail about the project. Mild violence and profanity will be used in some scenes with the young performer. Project itself is a thriller drama, and all scenes with the young performer will be handled with sensitivity. The calls made by the casting director Jessica Jeffries will be shot in Pinewood Studios, London, a very popular large-scale studio with very big companies. Some casting calls directly mention such staff such as college professors. We've also seen Rockstar staff come into engagement with the listings, but won't be sharing with who or how. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So the only thing that kind of loses me here is when they say the project itself is a thriller / drama, which I would not call Bully either of those things.
No, me neither.
I think. What do
maybe
you
a
think
deeper
they would?
story or
What do you
something?
think they would say about it though? Like, would they say that their GTA series is a drama?
No, it's satire.
Yeah, I don't know. There's drama in it. There's a thriller in it.
Yeah. But
Like,
I mean,
there's
I would
exciting
call it
parts of
like
the
a
story and stuff.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you want to say something to throw it off? Like, not be so on the nose if you're gonna be.
It could just be vague wording. That could very well be it. You know.
Yeah, I guess. But there's already been rumors that Bully 2 is going to be the next game that Rockstar releases after Red Dead Redemption 2. So it makes sense that the next game Rockstar is getting casting for is Bully 2.
Makes
Like those two
right.
things tie together more so than anything. But
Yeah.
I feel like they would be further along. But I guess you build the engine and like kind of the world and everything, and then you like map that to actors.
Like the mocap and the voiceovers and all that.
Like that's added into the game.
The scripting comes
at
later.
some point in the middle, I think. I don't know how games work, but that sounds right.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. I want this to be true because I love Bully.
Yeah.
And I want like next gen Bully. That sounds awesome.
It's just interesting that they're gonna have teenagers and then also college professors, which.
Well, because I mean, Bully 1 was in a high school, so if it's the same character like in college, which doesn't seem right because by the college age, I feel like that's not really interesting anymore.
Yeah.
But it could be college, as in like the UK term, which I think college is like high school, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that could be right. Like,
because university over there is
because there's what is it now? It's like like dormitories and stuff, kind of like the first Bully, where there's like dorms and like everything was on campus. Like maybe that's what they mean by college.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like a preparatory college, as in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Which makes more sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I want it.
Very interesting.
Give it to me. Let's just replay Bully. I think they've re-released it again.
I'm pretty sure I have Bully on my Xbox One for backwards compatibility.
No, it was like it just had a re-release. Is it coming to Switch?
On Steam too? I don't know.
Yes, it's on Steam. It's called the Scholarship Edition.
Aha.
Yeah.
But I have it through backwards compatibility. So.
Is it the same though? Like, is the regular, like the original game?
It's the 360 version. I played it originally on the original Xbox.
Oh man, that game's old.
That game is old.
Yeah, the remaster came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Whoa! Wow. Okay.
I didn't realize that was that old. I thought there was a recent remaster, like a re-release, I should say, but maybe not. I guess people were just talking about it coming to Switch.
Probably.
All right, give me Bully, give me life.
Because I played it on Wii, actually.
One thing that I wanted for a long time was changing my PSN name. Speaking of which,
Really?
PSN name change is officially announced by Sony.
A valiant effort.
Does it say when they're going to be able to change that? It's going to cost $10 to change it.
It's going into the preview program soon and should roll out to everyone in 2019, I believe.
Okay. $10 to change your name if you're not a PlayStation Plus member. $5 to change your name if you are one.
After the first time. The first time is free.
Oh, okay.
Everybody gets one.
Always free.
Everyone gets one?
Isn't that right,
cool.
Spider-Man?
All right.
Everybody gets one. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to change my name. Absolutely. I hate my name.
Yeah, you're going to change it too.
The Charge Shot or Charge Shot.
Okay.
Like, simple.
See, I have a fairly innocuous, boring name, so I'm gonna change it to something super inappropriate after all of those are gotten rid of.
So you're gonna get the ones that are like 420XX Blaze now.
Yeah, like Big Dong 69.
Yeah,
I'm coming for you. I'm just waiting for you to change yours to Jack Smith, adult person.
Jack Smith, adult.
TV.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna change it to TV or TTV and stuff like that. Probably.
But I would like to have zero score. Like that would be nice, but it's taken everywhere else. Jerks.
You have to get 0_ score.
There can only be one.
I hate the underscore.
I love it, man. I love it. It's so great.
I think you should just embark on an epic quest to just take down all the other 0 scores, like Highlander style, so that you're the last one, so you can be the only 0 score. And then it's
you just gotta publicly shame everyone else.
One of them is a Russian journalist. I can't even shame him because he won't understand me. On Twitter, he's been around since I created my account,
right.
He's still there.
This might go a little. This might go a little too far, but just call the Saudis on him.
I'll just say that I'm good friends with Trump, and that we should work together, and we'll switch names. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, trade between America and Russia is really good right now. I hear. There we go. I brought it back.
Okay. I don't know. Telltale's Walking Dead final season is getting an ending by Skybound.
Robert Kirkman's company, the creator of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is him.
Yeah. There's a nice element to that.
So like, what happened here? Like, I heard it was like the people that were left over, they got laid off too, and then like these people are the ones working now.
Yeah, the remaining like 25 people that were there to finish obligations were also let go.
That's so crazy, man.
That is rough.
Like Telltale is gone.
Yeah,
rough.
More like Told Tale, am I right?
Oh,
high five.
Too soon.
Yeah, it's rough.
They turned tail and ran.
Oh, another one. Oh, it's still on the ground, man.
The body was fresh. You just took a shit on it.
Remember that. But yeah, they said that they're going to be rehiring some of the former Telltale team to finish work on the game that they were. So basically, like a lot of the people that are working on the story and elements and stuff of this game will be hired on to Skybound to finish it. So at least, like, I don't imagine it's going to be a long-term employment, but at least it gives them something while they continue to look, which Telltale did not give them. They didn't even give them severance, so
still,
it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be up front, like a, hey, this is like a, let's say 6-month or 3-month gig. I don't know how long it was left.
It's probably going to be like a term contract, yeah.
Yeah.
And
so it's like, during this time, you will be paid this much, and you are, cleared to continue looking for employment.
Yeah.
But again, it gives them another chance to rebound.
Yeah.
Which is great. And people get the game they're wanting. Like it's the best situation for this, because it not only like satisfies the people that only care about the game and we're just mad that it didn't get finished, it also satisfies everyone else, the good, empathetic people that actually cared about the people that were working on it having jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's the best that this situation could have had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last news story that I have is Overwatch's Lucio O's maybe becoming a real cereal.
I kind of thought you were skipping this, because why would you end on it?
It's a fun news story to end on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I put it here, but I don't know anything about Overwatch. I just thought it was stupid.
So novelty cereals have been around for a while. The New Day from WWE has a cereal called Booty-O's. They make sure that you ate booty. Yep.
You literally eat booty for breakfast. Wow.
Yep.
Classy.
Well, you're kind of eating buttholes. They're Booty-O's.
Yeah,
So
and they're O's. Yep.
Yeah.
Like Cheerios. Yep.
Booty.
You're eating buttholes for breakfast. It's pretty great.
Doing the most.
But Lucy O's are
Just call them Lucio's.
Yeah, Lucy. Oh.
But you say Lucio and then you say O's.
I know, but it's a bad name.
So you'll say Lucio O's. Like oh.
No.
Lucy
The Sonic
Oh-Ohs.
vanilla flavor sounds pretty good, though.
Okay. I have no energy
no,
for this.
The reason this is like vaguely interesting is because it's kind of like the Mario cereal, where there's an in-game gimmick to it. So each box contains clues or codes for an Overwatch loot box.
Oh, okay.
Boost, loot boost. Sorry. And it says, according to Junk Food Aisle's report, the cereal will grant buyers free Overwatch in-game loot boxes for every box of cereal purchased between December 3rd and December 31st. Consumers will then supposedly need to take a picture of the receipt and go to a website to register, log in, and post a picture within 30 days of purchase. Players will then be granted an additional in-game loot box the next 3 times they level up by March 31st, 2019.
Why not
That's
just
a lot of
do
work
code?
for some in-game stuff. No, the code is for the initial loot box.
Oh, I see.
And then you can get more by doing this convoluted process.
That's still.
But yeah, so basically you get a free, or quote unquote free loot box by eating this cereal.
Hey, I mean, I'm sure people will do it for free loot boxes. I mean, there's some folks out there that are all about their Overwatch skins and all that. So, and their sprays.
But I like these kind of cereal gimmicks because it's like, cereals used to have cool toys and stuff in them. And now they don't, but at least they can have cool digital toys in them. Like, that's something at least. And it costs the companies nothing.
Cereals come with apps now, by the way.
Do they?
No way.
You downloaded an app on your phone with
What?
some scan or something.
That's
Does
crazy.
it help you eat cereal? Like, what is it for?
I don't know. It's like sometimes they're like games or something, but it's just like really lame stuff for your phone.
Oh, that's dumb.
Like lame
You
flash.
used to get color-changing spoons that you could use with your cereal.
Right?
Yeah, and straws. They were color changing straws. That was a thing too.
Those were cool.
I like the temp tattoos. I like wear those, go to school, pretend I'm cool.
There were also the ones where you can get multiple boxes and get the box top and send them in for like a super prize. I never did that though. But...
Yeah, I never did that.
Yeah, those. My mom would keep them, and then before we got enough, she would forget and throw them away.
Oh.
I think like maybe we did it once and I got like a notebook or something. I don't know. It wasn't that
There was like
cool.
some plushes and stuff.
Yeah.
This is kind of unrelated, but I remember before I knew what Pokemon was, we went to the Kentucky Fried Taco, Kentucky Fried Chicken Taco Bell combo, and their kids meals were like Pokemon plushes. I didn't know what Pokemon was yet though, so like my brother got a Zubat and I got a Dratini, or I think it was switched, but I liked the Dratini more, so I stole it. And I was just like, oh, these are cool little monster things. I wonder what they're from. Like, they're really neat designs. And then we got Pokemon like a year later, and I found them in game. I'm like, why do these look so familiar?
Nice.
They made a game about the plushie I have.
Right. I don't remember what the other ones were, but if anyone else like has that same memory from like 1996, probably kids meals at Kentucky Fried Chicken or Taco Bell. I don't remember which one because it was both. Let me know what the other ones were.
I have Pokemon plushies, but I don't remember if I know I didn't get them from KFC or anything like that. Like I have a Meowth one.
I could probably Google it. KFC Pokemon plushes, I guess.
I guess so.
Oh yeah, this might be them. Oof, they're real rough looking. There's a super derpy seal.
Oh yeah, these look pretty.
Like the Dratini and the Zubat are actually pretty good, but then there's a seal and a Vulpix that do not look good.
I think the Vulpix looks okay.
It's fine. They were 1998, I guess. Yeah, that Dratini's legit. Like I wish I still had that.
I remember the Zubat here. I had one of those, I think. All right.
Anyway, sorry. It was related enough to bring up because I thought of it. But
Yeah. After that event down memory lane, Justin, where can the people find your stuff?
they can find me if they go to Twitter or YouTube and look up Zero Score, but not the stupid Russian one. I'm the other one with the underscore.
0_score.
Stop it.
Low.
You can find me on Twitter at Near the Hero. That is spelled N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also go onto YouTube and just look up Near the Hero, just all letters, no spaces. Yeah, you can find me here too, because I like hanging out with these guys, because they're cool.
Yeah.
Aww.
You can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find us here at tryshot.com, where all of our audio, video, written content lives. You can also email me at thomas@tryshot.com. And thank you for listening, and enjoy your games. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I have